Please, Anja, please.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Hashim. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, another exciting day. So, how are you all?
Doing good.
Great.
We are good.
Doing great, Hashim.
Yeah, I can see people, yeah, coming on videos. Yeah, please let your team members know, friends, family members know. So let them join. We'll just wait for 1 more minute. So it's going to be a great session today. Two great speakers lined up. So all right. So let's get started. So who are all excited? Let me hear some excitement. Yes.
1st of November tomorrow, new month.
Yes, end of the month. Yes, I know that everyone will be busy, super busy. But thanks those who joined, right? So thank you all. Thank you for joining today. Okay, so again, so let's get started. Okay, so right. So it's a great session. We have two great speakers lined up. Okay, so very happy to introduce Mahesh. Okay, so he's a very good friend of mine. Okay, so I actually met him through cricket. Okay, so that is how actually I met him, and he was working with me at my previous company. I mean, my current company, Cognizant. Okay, so it's honor for me to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Mahesh, and senior IT professional working in a renowned MNC. And he's just not an IT professional, right? So he's not just like a master of bytes and codes, but a true enthusiast of life's adventures. Okay, he's an ultra long distance cyclist. Okay, you will hear from him here. He completed 300 kilometers, 600 kilometers, whatnot. Okay, I don't know what he's planning next. Okay, and a long distance runner, a passionate cricketer. Okay, that is something very no common bonding between me and Mahesh, cricket and running. And today he's going to share his insights on the incredible benefits of running marathons and not waiting, giving like. So let's get ready to be inspired by his journey and wisdom in the world of long distance running. Please join me in welcoming Mahesh to the stage. Okay, with a huge round of applause. Welcome on, Mahesh.
Wow. That's probably one of the best introductions that I've ever had in any forums, Hashim. Thank you. You say that I am an inspiring guy, but I can see many people in this forum that where I've looked up and I personally got inspired from. Vinayak, to name very specific, because I worked with him before my Cognizant time, Hashim. Right, we were sharing the desk for a couple of years. We had a couple of some exciting lunch breaks, tea breaks. We did whatsoever, no, right? Yeah. So Hashim reached out to me yesterday, right? And coincidentally, yesterday we were both struggling with some of the aftermaths of running one of the biggest marathons that the Kochi has ever organized, right? And we were talking to each other about what were you doing, how did you recover? And then he said, why can't we speak about it to a larger forum and see, if we can help bring few more people into the world of running, cycling, and, help getting into a better ways of uh, trying to get into a better lifestyle and how it can help you in from a personal perspective and from a professional perspective too, right? I was trying to put together a PPT, and this is what I tend to do for a living too from my professional life. So I thought I'd stay away from it today, right? Rather look at everybody, share my experiences, and hear from you, and see if I can answer some questions. So no PPTs today. I'm not going to bore you with slides and all. Right. Now, just a quick summary of what I have done outside of my IT career is completely different. So, as Hashim suggested, I am an ultra long distance cyclist. So far in the last 2.5 years, I've pedaled close to 30,000 kilometers. I've done this thing called Brevet, which covers a series of long distance events starting from 200 kilometers, 300, 400, and 600, which are all timed, where you have to complete with little rest, little sleep, and all. I also completed long distance endurance events such as 1,000 kilometers. So it's an all across run through Kerala, which I've managed to complete in 60 hours, 1,200 kilometers across Kerala, which I've managed to complete in 72 hours. And I also became first in the all Tamil Nadu ultra long distance cycling, which is again 1,200 kilometers, which I ended up doing 1,500 kilometers because I messed up the route. But again, 100 people started, 25 from Kerala were there, and I was the only Malayali to complete it. So it was a prestigious movement from a cycling community standpoint. And from a running perspective, so far I have run just about 900 kilometers so far. So I'm still a budding runner, right? I'm an enthusiast. I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to get there, figuring out, my training plan on how I can complete my marathons faster. So that's what I've done so far. So why did I get into cycling? Why did I start running, right? Now, we all would have had this time in our career, or not in career, in our life, right? We could easily eat a stone and it would easily digest. We will never put on a weight, right? Coincidentally, today is my wedding anniversary. If you look at my wedding picture 12 years back, right? People would say that, I would be getting arrested for child marriage. That's how lean I used to look at that time, right? Even leaner than this, right? Now, some point of time and in some turnaround of life, right? You travel, you get into your work, the stress adds up, your mental pressure adds up. You don't realize it, but then the amount of toll it actually takes on your body, your mental health, it's completely unexplainable. You would be experiencing this in your life, but then, it's hard to explain it, how it affects your overall lifestyle altogether, right? You tend to start putting in long hours into work, right? You'll start losing your sleep. You start losing your discipline in your life, right? You don't look after the diet that you generally follow. You eat what you get. You do not follow a specific timeline. You sleep when you sleep, right? I'm also somebody who was affected a lot by that, being more workaholic. I traveled across the globe, eat whatever I could. Being a vegetarian, whatever I got in any country that I got, I ate it, right? The outcome of it, especially during the COVID time, that's when it impacted me a lot. I got stuck in the UK. My family was back in India, and I cook, but then I'm not an expert chef to control all the oils and sugars and whatnot, that goes into the food. So from about 68 kilos in 2020, by the time COVID vanished, I became close to 108 kilos. Right? That's how huge I went. Now, what also happened during COVID time, I got myself injured. I don't know why I tried to do it, but then middle of the night, I decided to clean my tub, right? The bathtub. I tried doing it. I slipped and I broke my back. I did not realize it then, but then 2 weeks afterwards, I tried playing a cricket match, slipped and fell, and then that was the end of it, right? Now, bed rest followed by it. I had my tailbone surgically removed in the UK, and then I came back to India, followed by a couple of more months of bed rest in the Astor Hospital, physiotherapy, you name it, it was quite a painful experience. But then towards the end of it, from 108, I was, gone, my normal clothes doesn't fit me. My fitness was vanished. I couldn't even hold a cricket bat properly. I couldn't stay in the field. It impacted my mental health very badly. The way that I was I was generally an outgoing person, a lot. I used to spend lots of time in the field, talking to people, enjoying my time out in the sun. But I started getting ashamed by looking at myself, right? And I could not step out. I became more lazy. I just started eating more. I just sat in front of the computer more and more, right? That's when one of my colleague and my close friend, I think he's in this call, his Shamir is in Chennai. He said, man, this is not how you should be, you should try doing something. And he suggested, start doing cycling, right? And that's the beginning of how I thought of, okay, fine. And then I consulted my doctor, who is again ultra long distance runner. Hashim knows him. He met him during the event last week, right? And he said, yes, go for it, right? A normal ortho doctor would say no to cycling if you are having a bad back. But then he said, no, it's really good. You should actually start doing. Went into some local shop, purchased a bike, started doing few kilometers. Did I get some result? Yes. But then I was not following a proper diet or anything. That's when I got introduced to a really fantastic group of cycling community who actually motivated me to do more, right? Now, what helped me is to look at, I could maybe look at, the great cyclists, the Armstrongs, what they've done, what they've achieved in their career and all. But then they were not relatable to what I had, the problems that I was facing, and how can I be somebody like them? But then the community that I got introduced were all my colleagues, right? They were flying in their cycle at 30 kilometers an hour, 40 kilometers. And I'm like, oh my God, wow, how do you do that, man? Come on, you need to teach me, right? And it pushed me to do more and more. They pushed me to do more events, got into a more structured training plan. And they also said, you know what, you need to start focusing on your diet. And whatever little knowledge my inspirers, my mentors had, they told me to cut out sugars, watch my carb intake, and I started religiously following them. It was very difficult to start with, extremely difficult, right? This is a really good group who would understand the difficulties in starting a diet and then trying to maintain it for some time before it becomes a habit, right? I was starving some nights, I literally wanted to eat the pillow, right? I couldn't get sleep and all. But after 2-3 months, that's when I actually started seeing the result when I was standing in front of the mirror. From 108, 1 kilo started vanishing, and then I started realizing, right, I'm doing something good, right? And then the next 2 years, it just went flying. I did lots and lots of cycling. Obviously injured myself. Overdoing it is also not so good. I tore my ACL, I tore my MCL. I did not even realize that I tore it. I actually went ahead and played a match with Hashim, and I dived, and then that was the end of my knee, right? And that's when I had a rest, and then I was thinking, what next? Done lots of cycling. What can I do more? What is there more for me to achieve more? I needed another goal to keep myself motivated. And that's when the running part of the thing started hitting my mind. January this year is when I told my wife, towards the end of this year, I want to do a full marathon. And by this end of this year, I would want to complete close to 1,500 kilometers, at least a minimum, right? By Jan, Feb, I got cured. It was only a partial tear and it was okay. And then I started running a couple of 5Ks and 6Ks, right? With no coaching. I did not listen to anybody. I just picked up the shoe and started running. The upside of it was because I was doing a lot of cycling. I had the stamina, I had the lung capacity. So I was able to do that smaller kilometers. And then I joined an event, a 26 or 22 kilometer half marathon in one of the toughest routes. I never realized it was a tough route. Some guy sent me a flyer and said, there's this event coming up. Why don't you register? The moment I landed at that venue is when I actually realized it's a tough event, because all were seasoned runners and they're like, oh my God, you're new. Are you sure this is a route that you want to do? By the end of the route, I again injured myself. The ACL got torn again, right? And the doctors were not happy. He was quite angry. He said, this is not how you should go. 2 months, 3 months, I was completely bed rest. My knee was immobilized to make sure that, I was not putting in any more load on it. But after I came back, then I did some research. I met a running coach who said, we need to take it in a structured way. Have you ever heard about, walking to run fast and slow running to do fast running? This is like crazy, man. how can you run slow to run fast? It's something that I've never heard of. But then I started following the plan, and then I realized it actually makes sense. The more you run, the more slow you run, the more endurance and stamina that you're building, right? What it has also helped me throughout in the last 2.5, in the last 6 or 8 months is the discipline that it has instilled in me, right? Every day now I wake up at 4 in the morning, no matter what happens, 4 o'clock I'm up, right? I check some emails, make sure that my clients are happy, but by 4:30 I am out. I go for a run. There is a structured plan that I follow now, right? It's either a tempo, it's a long run or a short run. I come back, take my daughter to school, and I hit the gym again, right? Strength training is really important. You tend to lose a lot of muscle when you do a lot of cardio. If you're not, and if you're above 35, you should start lifting weight. I'm a firm believer of it. I've got really great benefits by lifting weights. It is a must to do, but it doesn't mean that you need to go to the gym, right? You can do your own body weight exercises too, your squats, your lunges, your push-ups, whatever, right, at your own home. You don't need to go to the gym, but do some exercises to improve your strength and stabilize yourself. And then to start your running journey, you start by walking, right? Don't pick up your shoe and then try to run a 10K and a 20K, but just start slowly. All it takes is for you to step out of your home, in front of your compound or in front of your own backyard, right? Walk for 10 minutes, walk for 15 minutes, do a circle. You never realize it. In a month's time or in a couple of weeks' time, you build enough stamina to actually do a proper 5K. If you follow the same routine for a month, you would build a stamina and endurance to do a 10K. And then you go out and then you meet this community. Support of a group is really good, right? It actually motivates you. It allows you to share your problems, share your thoughts about, what is happening with your body, what is stopping you from doing more. And it helps you to get advices on how to improve yourself, which I am getting a lot these days, right? Which is helping me a lot, right? Now, I struggled to finish this recent marathon and I did some training, but, it was not enough. There were people who actually stepped up and said, what, Mahesh, this is what you did wrong. You actually did a lot of things right. But if you are planning to do another marathon in 2 months' time, these are the things that I want you to correct, right? These are things that only a community would be able to help you, right? A good friend, who actually sees wants to see a better version of you will come in and help you, which is this community and the running community again, all together, right? But then one thing that, Mr. Sachin Tendulkar actually spoke about when he flagged off the event, running a marathon is not a piece of cake, right? It's not for everybody to do. It requires tremendous discipline. It requires tremendous commitment. And it requires tremendous support from your family and your mental attitude as well, right? If you're able to gel all of these things together, then nothing like it. Over a period of time, you continue to motivate yourself. You keep on running. And then you would run a marathon. But what does it transpire you into your life? You become lean, you become strong, your mental sharpness improves a lot. I've seen it, my memory power has increased a lot. I was getting a lot of brain fag off rate. Ever since I started running more and more, my brain fag is reducing a lot. I no longer get angry with my fellow colleagues or my clients. I don't know why. What happens, I am quite relaxed, right? Running actually takes you to that breaking point of your mental life. Half of the run, I was literally crying. There was even a video of somebody actually captured me crying and running towards the race. It really breaks you. It takes you to the breaking point, that makes you realize, that's it, right? Everything has its own breaking point and it's simple, right? You just focus on what to do next and then you continue with your goal and you would end of the day, you would achieve it, right? So that's a little bit about me. That's what I've done in this last 2-3 years that has helped me to shape me up. As of today, when I started off 2.5 years back at 108 kilos, I'm currently 70 kilos now, right? I have not done any surgery. I don't take any fat burners and all. I followed a healthy diet. I have taken good amount of protein, good amount of fiber, good amount of micro and macro nutrients, extremely good supplements, some suggested by Hashim too, like ashwagandhas and all. I never realized the importance of having it, right? But yes, that's what I followed. And I still aim to reduce a bit more weight because of the load it actually puts into my body when I'm doing more running. But I hope to get there very soon. What's next for me? I'm planning to do a race across America. So that's a 3,000-mile race that happens from one end of the United States to the other end. I'm not there yet. I'm just about starting training for it. My company has kindly said, they would sponsor me for this event. So hopefully, next year you would see me participating and trying to complete a race across America. And in the meantime, I'm also trying to become an Ironman. So Ironman is a combination of running, swimming, and cycling. You start with a 5-kilometer open water swimming, followed by 180 kilometers of cycling and a full marathon, which you all need to complete it all together in 16 hours. So training for it now. Cycling is good. Running, I'm getting there. Need to start to learn open water swimming. And that's... I would like to pause there, Hashim. Any questions or I hope I did not bore you all.
Definitely not. I think that was super inspiring.
awesome.
Right? I see. Right.
Thank you.
This is exactly the reason I want you to speak, Mahesh. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Yes, Mahesh. Yeah. So we'll take a pause now. Okay. Any questions? And definitely, right. Many people, everyone would like to run. Okay. And it's all about like, is it possible? The same thing happened to me. And before we come back to Mahesh, okay, there was one more other person from the same group who she also ran like a fun run, okay, within the Spice Girls Marathon. Her name is none other than Anju. I mean, like a part of our Reshape Nation community. And I will ask Anju to share her experience, and then we'll come back to Mahesh for these questions. Definitely, yeah. But please, you can use the chat window for the questions, and we'll definitely will come back to Mahesh. Over to you, Anju.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening, and super excited after the run, and a lot of insights and inspiration from Mahesh's talk, because I have run this 5K fun run with the Spice Coast Marathon team. Yeah, this was my first experience. As Hashim said, everyone wants to run. I was not definitely in that category, I guess, definitely a couple of years before. But yeah, after joining Reshape Nation, or after reducing the weight, I always had that wish to run, not yeah. And I was not sure if I'll be able to do that, because running is not like doing the other exercises or something. It needs that discipline, that practice, everything. And I was not prepared for any runs. I have never done any practice for runs. Definitely, I always wanted to, this run, my cousin actually runs. He runs ultra marathon and all, and he used to tell me that you should also start running and all. But yeah, definitely something was stopping me. And this time what happened is, I was seeing this Spice Coast Marathon post, and definitely wanted to try. Then I was looking for some company as usual. And yeah, last moment I decided, yes, this time I am not every time what happens is, I'll just look at the poster, it goes on, and I'll just skip that. This time I definitely wanted to run whatever happens. Like, I was not sure if I'll be able to complete, or not sure. So I registered, and then I went, and it was like that. That crowd was unbelievable. Like, that spirit, that crowd was unbelievable, that we will think that I started feeling what I was doing here in Kochi. It is very bad that if I was not part of Spice Coast Marathon. It was a wonderful feeling. And my 7-year-old daughter also accompanied me. She also got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to catch the metro. We actually went by the metro. One special metro was there, and she was super excited, and she also wanted run 5K, but I was not sure if she'll be able to run that much. So I asked her to just sit there, and next time, definitely with little bit of practice, I'll definitely take her also with me. And yeah, definitely we are showing the way to our children. Then came the time. I'm a huge fan of Sachin Tendulkar, so that flag of ceremony was definitely by Sachin Tendulkar, and I was like, oh my god, fully charged up. And yeah, I could complete that 5K run. Definitely, it was a reality check. It is not that easy without enough practice, or yeah, even now my muscles are paining because I didn't have enough practice. As Mahesh said, definitely I'll start walking, little bit of running, walking, and next time definitely half marathon I want to do. There is no looking back. I'll definitely do. Yeah, if and I'm so proud to say that I'm more healthier or fit in my 30s now than in my 20s. I could have done this before also in my 20s, but never in my mind came these thoughts. That time I was not married, I didn't have much responsibility, no kids, but I do not know, I never thought of doing this. Definitely joining this community has changed that mindset, or yeah, to become more healthy, to be more fit, and also to inspire others. Yeah, that all came from this organization only. Definitely so grateful for that, because once a time I was a mom, a lazy mom, a working mom with thyroid condition and all, and today I ran 5K, which is a very big thing for me. And definitely one thing is, what is stopping us from doing this is only us. That decision we need to take. If I today I am talking to you because that decision I took for running, I was not sure if I could complete or not, but that decision, take it. Whatever happens, we can see. So yeah, that is one thing. And I was also inspired by a set of senior citizens, which a group of senior citizens were also running in this Spice Coast Marathon. I think they were supported by Medical Trust. That team was there. Definitely 60 years plus people are running, and I was like, wow. And we are like, okay, should I run or should I not? We are in that position now in our 30s. Definitely, I think people are getting more oriented towards getting a healthy living and all. And definitely we all have that responsibility to create a good healthy community, and definitely we should inspire others to take their health seriously. Running is a part of it. Yeah, we can slowly start our small steps, baby steps towards running as well. And as a group we can inspire a lot of people. Okay, that's it. And yeah, I was happy to see our Hashim as well in the ground. Yeah, so definitely looking forward to meet a lot more people from this group next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Anju. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah. So I think it was all, I mean, so definitely, right. I can't share, I mean, like, I can't be a person, right, who can't share my experience, right? I was also excited. So definitely, right. So always, right, even just like Anju said, right, even I was also thinking like, this is something which is meant for me. And can I run? We always have these questions in our mind, right? So and I also had the same thing, because I was always looking at, say, like, okay, do we need to complete a 5 kilometer run? I was just always looking at that 5 kilometer. Later on, when I started practicing with, basically, right, always good to have a part of a community, because I had a community with my office. I used to run with them, and we started practicing. Okay, say like we'll start with 5 kilometers with some basic exercises and what. I was literally struggling to complete 100 meters non-stop. That was how actually I started, right? I'm sure that this will be the case with each and everyone. This will be the case which will be stopping each and every one of you. The same thing happened with me. So that is when actually I realized we should not be looking at that 5 kilometers. Focus on the first 100 meters. After completing the first 100, focus on the next 100. So always now break up that big 5K into small milestone. Okay. Then it's something which we can easily achieve. That was something, one trick which was shared to me, my mentors, and that actually really helped me. So I started with like Spice Coast Marathon. That is where actually I did my first run. It was an 8 kilometers run. And one of the main reason which I registered was that Sachin Tendulkar was going to flag off that event. Just like an hardcore cricket fan and a diehard fan of Sachin, I just went, okay, because see, always these runs happen at the early mornings, right? So we need to start, events will be happening at around 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and which means I have to wake up early, start early as well. So definitely, right? So Mahesh, you want to add anything?
Oh no. So you, before you move on to Sachin and how you got inspired by them, I just want people in this group to know. And I was trying to get Hashim to join me in my training runs. I was running every Sunday some half marathons and all, just for training purposes. 3 Sundays, I tried to get hold of Hashim. He was down with dengue, right? And last Monday, I reached out to Hashim and asked, what, are you really gonna run, man? I don't think you should if you had a dengue. And he's like, no, I'm gonna run, right? He not just ran, he just not attempted it. He actually trashed it with a really good timing too, right? I completely hats off to him. I don't know how he got the energy. It was super hot day. Even some of the seasoned runners, they actually struggled to complete it. Super humid, super hot. The amount of ice that we had to put on our body to keep continuing to reduce that cramp. I have no idea. We completed it with 3 weeks down with dengue, Hashim. Hats off to you.
Yes, thank you, Mahesh. Yeah, so I think right. You should have some goals in your life. Okay. So I was determined to complete this 21K because I want to start at this thing since strong. Okay. This was supposed to be my first run. I was running almost after a year. The last run which I did was at 21 kilometers. It was Spice Coast Marathon. That was exactly in 2022. Okay. So I wanted to, doesn't matter what. I didn't register also because I was still not sure. And at that time when I realized, okay, the doctor said, okay, you are not supposed to do even a walking. I was literally shattered. Okay. And then I had my antibiotics and all. Definitely, I always wanted to do this thing, right? If you have something dream, if you have some passion, right? Doesn't matter whatever obstacles are there in front of you, you will definitely plan for it and definitely will achieve it. So I wanted to run. Then I came to know registrations are closed. So I contacted the organizers. They said, okay, just hold on, we will see. And they opened a small, like 24 hours window. I registered, and what happened, right? I was not sure, definitely, right? I was thinking like I will be looking for my personal best because I want to complete it in like 2.5 hours. So that was the target which I was doing. Because definitely I was doing a lot of workouts and planning before the run, but in between I had this sickness and all. Then actually that stopped me. So, but I was not sure if I will be able to complete. But I was determined. Okay, doesn't matter. I might walk, I might crawl. I'm going to complete this 21 kilometers. And exactly I was able to finish this thing. And that was, see, one recommendation to each and every one of you, right? There are events happening across India. Okay. It can just be a fun run, 5 kilometer, 3 kilometer, doesn't matter what. Just participate once. And I can assure you, you are not going to stop it. You are going to enjoy that day because you will see people carrying with their small kids, old people, they will be just using that, they will be having some volunteers to help them with that, wheelchair and all. I used to see a person who is 100 plus kg, 100 plus age. He used to come for all these events happening at Kochi. So what is stopping us, right? Almost if I'm looking at the population who is attending this fun meeting, right? It's almost like around mid 30 to 40s, right? Just take baby step, just like Anju did, right? She did a 5 kilometer. Now she's determined to complete 21 kilometers. Okay. So I'm just taking a pause here. So I would like to go back to Mahesh. Okay. So definitely, yes, ask questions. No, if there is something which is stopping you, how can you get started, right? Or ask questions. If there is anyone, please. Over to you, Mahesh. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks,
We'll go
Hashim.
first, Hashim. This is Shamir here. Thanks, Mahesh. Good evening again, and thanks for this session. Well, something I need to understand, I'm not sure if the others will have the same question. Being a dad to a baby girl at home or a daughter, okay? Being a husband, I think you can manage your body, your fitness requirements, and all that. When you're out on the road for, let's say, quarter of the day on a weekend, how do you manage family? Please share some thoughts on that too. I think it'll help a lot of people if they agree with me. Well, I do see some smiling faces. I feel that they might also be facing the same thrashings at home, but yeah, any tips there would help. Okay, Anuj.
See, Shamir, first thing that I actually called out when I was talking, right? A supportive family is as important as how healthy and fit you are going to be, right? Fortunately, right, my wife supports all my craziness about being fit and all. See, they have seen the other side of me struggling and spending too many times visiting hospitals and trying to get some Ayurvedic massages for my back pain and all. But this is better, right? So they're only missing me for a few hours on a Saturday or a Sunday morning. And throughout the day, they have me healthy and to support all their needs. So I think we are good there. And in fact, my wife now wants to start running too after this marathon. Now she and her friends have said, I actually want to start getting into running, and she has asked me to register her for the next fun run that actually comes up.
I would say that is the best solution.
Yes,
Get your
yes,
family also involved.
Yeah.
definitely. I think lot many events are happening like family run kind of things, right? So I think that is best solution. Take your family, you go for a half marathon, and they can enjoy for a family run, short runs, and definitely right. And one thing, right? Definitely with me showing the medals to my kids and all, right? I'm sure my kids also started dreaming. Okay, going completing a half marathon doesn't matter what, right? But we are actually sowing that seeds, right? That dream, passion in with our family. So that's also something which always should motivate you. Okay, motivate your family, and definitely that is they are going to be a supportive.
The guy who actually motivated me to get into fitness, asked this question. He's like, come on, man, you're pulling my leg.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
So one question from Yamaisha, just for the community, the members over here, right? How to get started? Okay, so definitely there is always one thing which is actually everyone will be having that question in their mind, right? How to get started? And what is the best way?
Well, being in this community itself is the best way, right, Hashim, right? Anju explained, she had a thought of doing it, but then she had a negative thought of not doing it too, right? See, everybody is living in a closed home now, right? Take a breath of fresh air, man, right? We all need it. We are all in a high pressure working environment where it's ready to blast at our face at any point of time. So turn your system off early in the morning or in the evening time, right? Take some time, just go out for a walk. At least either if you have a small yard in your front garden or in your neighboring streets, right? Whichever you are comfortable. At your comfortable pace, at your comfortable distance. That's what is going to help you start moving. Once you start moving, right, I would strongly urge what Hashim suggested. Register for a fun event. The moment you see the community support, the happiness it actually brings to you, the feel that you actually get meeting new people, you would never turn back, right? And the best way to see, you have a efficient community within this group itself, Hashim. That's what I can feel from listening to what Anju and others were talking. Why don't you create a community here, right? Maybe Anju can take a lead, right? You had who just experienced what good it does for you by running this 5K. Maybe we can all meet at one common location once a week or twice a week, do a small 5K, meet up for a coffee, and then part ways, right? That could be a good way to start too.
Okay, yes, thanks, Mahesh. I think that helps actually. Yeah, that is something which we are actually planning.
Oh,
I
okay.
think, right, we are preparing everything we already discussed, right? How to get started, right? Prepare a plan, Saturdays, right? So definitely that is something which we are already planned and definitely we'll get started. Yeah. So any other questions, right? So I think never miss this opportunity to learn from.
Hi, Mahesh. It's
Good
been
to
a
see
long
you.
time.
Long time, yeah.
How are you? Yeah. My question is, you told about your ligament tear. So I also faced ligament tear. So what are the things you have done to strengthen your ligament? What are the things that means doctor advice or you have discovered in strengthening that?
A lot of physios start with Vinayak, right? After I did not have a full tear, it was a partial tear, ACL, MCL, and meniscus. So it helped avoiding a surgery. I rushed into running without listening to my daughter, and I tore it again, right? After that, I started taking it a bit slow. I did hit the gym a lot afterwards, right? I started lifting smaller weights with kettlebells and all. And slowly but gradually, I lifted more and more weights based on my doctor's recommendation on what I should as my progression continued. He was closely monitoring it. Now I am in a situation where I'm able to do a 150 kg squat, 500 kg leg press, and 150 kg deadlift too, right? That actually helped doing a lot of strengthening. But before that itself, right, resistant bands with a lot of lunges, half squats, full squats, that actually helped a lot.
Okay. Thank you, Mahesh. Happy to see you.
Happy to see you too, yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Mahesh.
So go ahead, Flomi.
Hey,
Hi,
Flomi.
Mahesh. Flomi
Oh, wow, you're here too.
Long time. I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for this motivational talk. We have been known for almost 13 years, I guess, 13 plus years.
13 plus,
Am I
yeah.
audible?
Beyond that, you are audible, yes.
Yeah, but I never knew that you gained so much weight. I've always seen you in this shape only.
You haven't
So,
seen.
like,
I actually showed my picture to
it was-
Hashim yesterday, how I looked 2.5 years back.
oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah. So I've never seen. I've always seen you like lean and tall. So it's surprising. And it was such a motivational talk. And thanks for sharing your story. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Flomi. So Flomi was one of my first leads when I started my job in UST back in 2008 or 2009, I suppose. Or even before that.
2009.
Yep.
No. Maybe after 2009. 2009 or 2010.
2009, yeah. Nice meeting you, ma'am, once again.
Same to you, Mahesh.
Yeah, and everyone want to wish you a happy anniversary, Mahesh.
Oh, thank you.
Happy getting anniversary from
Happy
all of us,
anniversary.
right? From this
Thank you,
community.
everyone.
Yeah. So, any other questions? We already asked how to get started, and we definitely, Mahesh told about why it's important to have strengthen your muscles and all, right? What is the distance which you should start?
Whichever is you're comfortable, Hashim, right? Like you said, 100 meters, 200 meters, whatever you're comfortable with. See, maybe I can throw in something, right? Every Saturday, I actually come to the city to run before I do my cricket match, right? So if you are in the city, if you want to join me for a very easy pace run and a walking pace run, I would start off sharp 6:20 in front of Holiday Inn. Either I go to Whitela or to Edapalli and then come back. So it's about 4.5, 5 kilometers. Very easy pace. Anybody can join, anybody can run. So that's the open schedule. Every Saturday I'll be there if you are interested to join.
Definitely, Mahesh. I think Anju is excited. Yeah, so I think, there are many here around Kochi. Definitely, we will actually meet. Yeah, I think there is a question from Leena. And what about the kind of clothing? Is it tracks? Is it the fabric cotton or synthetic mix?
It depends on the distance that you are going to run, right? Don't invest a lot at the very beginning, right? Go with what you generally wear for a workout in the gym, right? And I would suggest to get a good shoe rather than investing a lot on clothing, right? Shoes plays a very important role. I made a mistake of not having the right shoes when I started off my cycling part, which resulted in a lot of injuries for me at that time, right? Go to a good store, probably not Decathlon. It's one size fits all kind of a shop, right? You do get some good stuffs, but at the same time, you get rushed into buying a lot of things, right? I would suggest you to go and visit the ASICS shop in the Lulu Mall, right? Not to buy a shoe from there, but just go there. They have this thingy to check how you run, the pattern at how you run, the shape of your feet, where do you land, where is your impact area, and then they will suggest the kind of shoe that will fit your body style, your body weight, and the distance that you are going to plan to achieve in the next 2 to 3 months, right? And after that, you can go and buy shoes from any online sites. There are plenty of, even Asics themselves have an outlet shop online, which you get 50-60% off. Adidas have recently started a shop right next to Palarivata Mall, which where they are always 60% off, right? So, but visit the shop, visit the Asics, get that evaluation done, and I think that will do wonders for you. And once you get more and more into running, a moisture wicking like a fabric is what I would urge you to stick to. When you run, you sweat a lot. You get drenched in your own sweat. If you're wearing a very thick cloth, that absorb your sweat, you're gonna get more warm and it's gonna put more weight into your body, unwanted load in your body, right? You don't want to do that. So any good lycra fabric which is moisture wicking would help you. And then apply a lot of moisturizer in your feet, right? At the bottom of your feet and your underarms, you will get a lot of chapping when you start running.
Thank you, Mahesh. Yeah, one question which I think definitely, yeah. So what about that hydration, and what should be the food which you need to have just the day prior to that event?
Right. I'll tell you what I did. Right. So 2 days before the event, I stopped my diet and I started overloading myself with carbs. You need a lot of carbs to run, right? It becomes your fuel. Don't think that you will get overweight just because of 2 days of overloading carbs. That is fine. You would need all the energy for you to run the event. Again, you load carbs based on the event that you run. I ran a full marathon, so I need a lot of carbs and energy to support, right? And the day before the event, I increased my salt intake. I was drinking a lot of salted water, salted goods I was taking. And the morning of the event, I was taking black coffee with salt, extra salt. That's what I generally take any day before I work out, right? Salted coffee is actually a cuisine that is enjoyed in a lot of European countries. I would try it, you would love it. You will feel like the kanji vellam with salt, literally the same feeling, right? It takes the bitterness of coffee. You get the kick of caffeine, and that extra salt will boost you from not having cramps and not having your fatigue too early on, right? And before the race, I actually took a well-ripe Robusta banana, just one. And then I was taking energy gel. Every 40 minutes, I was taking a gel. And that gives me all the carbs and potassium and everything that is needed, right? I stayed away from the ORS, the electrolyte drink, and the oranges that they were keeping there. I have no idea what ORS they were mixing and the quantity they were mixing in. So I wasn't sure about the sodium and potassium levels, so I did not go down that route. I also took salted capsules. You get to buy salt capsules, right? So every hour I took a salt capsule.
Thank you, Mahesh. I think that helps.
Mahesh, last thing, avoid taking any oily or spicy food 2 days before the event. You will get a lot of heartburn if you do that.
Mahesh, Rakesh here. See,
Yeah,
I also go for some marathons and all, some doing 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer and all. But it is not a structured way or trained like you. So, is there any proper or some guidance we can get? Any YouTube channels or any coach we can get?
See, don't go to any YouTube channels and all. See, there are majority of these channels, they would come and they speak about things, not realizing the conditions that we are living in, right? It may not necessarily help us achieve our goals. Best bet is to the community that you're part of, right? There will be a very senior runner there who can actually give you all the tips that you need, right? So in a week, you tend to do 5 days of running. That's what everybody should follow, actually, right? So you start your first day with a very easy run, because your last day of the week is going to be the most difficult day of the week. Long distance endurance is what you tend to do. 2.5 hour or 3 hour run. First day of the week, you take a very slow and easy, like a average 7 pace or an 8 pace kind of a 5 kilometer or 8 kilometer run, right? Second day, you do a tempo. Fastest 5K that you ever done. That is what you do in a tempo. 5K or a 10K, that is what you should target. Third day, you do a interval training, right? So 400-meter lap of 5 laps or 6 laps. or if you're a beginner, right, start with a 100-meter lap or 5 or 6 laps. Do a warm up, do a warm down afterwards of 1 kilometer each. And then the fourth day, again, you relax, right? A very easy walk, slowest walk as you can possible, right? That allows your muscle to recover. And then the last day, you do a maximum effort run, like a long distance, 2 hours, 3 hours, at a very easy pace. You do not increase your speed in those runs. Never get into that gray zone. Spend more time at a very less pace so that it actually helps you to build your aerobic capacity. Right? That's what I do, Rakesh, right? I don't know. So where are you based, Rakesh, right? Are you based out of the city?
I'm
Definitely, I
present
will connect with you, Mahesh.
Sure. Thanks, Ashim.
Yeah, thank you. So any other questions? Fine. Okay, so who all are going to start with their runs? Today? Definitely, it's too late for today. But tomorrow, or by the weekend? Just raise your hands. All right. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so thanks a ton, Mahesh. Thanks for that super inspiring talk, and definitely right with all the nuggets which you shared, right? Definitely, yeah, we will catch up, and we are going to join you on the Saturday runs. Definitely, yes. And you will see more people coming to join you. Definitely, yes. So thanks a lot, Mahesh. And once again, thanks a lot from our community, W3 community, Reshape Nation community, and wishing you a happy anniversary again to your wife, and definitely, yeah, wishing you many happy years ahead. Okay. So hope to you. Okay. Saragesh, you have any doubts or questions? No, right. Okay.
No.
All right. Yes. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Yeah. So thanks again. And yeah, unfortunately, Nirmal, he won't be able to talk today, and he's having some issues. His daughter. His daughter is not well. Okay. So we will wind up and see you soon. Okay. So next Tuesday, same time, 9:30, and we have a great list of speakers lined up as well. Okay. So one on that. Definitely, we will share that. Teaser soon. Okay. So thanks again. Thanks, Mahesh. And thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.
Brilliant. Hey, thanks, Ashim, for inviting me. And once again, very nice to meet you all and to reconnect with some of my old friends too. Thank you for the opportunity.